Hey gents, let's talk about these factory and outlet stores that people are really flocking to and the hidden underbelly of problems that they're really starting to hide in the retail industry as a whole. And now today, as we talk about it, because my channel is focused on menswear, I'll mostly be talking about menswear, but this applies largely to the entire industry, including men's and women's clothing. As we dive in, make sure you subscribe to learn about the best menswear on the internet. I do unboxings and reviews of new products, but then I also on Wednesdays take a step back, look at the retail industry as a whole, just talk about some of the things that are going on at a macro level. And I'll also link to a couple of videos that are on YouTube about this problem that were done a couple of years ago, but they don't really touch on some of the new stuff that has come since this trend started happening. Outlet stores are not a new concept, but the reliance on companies to fund their growth is something that's very new. Originally, they were just a place where retailers would put their excess inventory and poor performing items. In order to get rid of them, you had odd sizes, odd patterns, off-season things, and originally it was a pretty good deal. The same shirt you would be buying at J.Crew for $70, either in an odd size or a pattern, would be then at the outlet store for $40. And then on top of that, you add a 10 or 25% off coupon, and you had a perfect storm for a crack-like formula that now consumers and shoppers are totally hooked. And this is pervasive across the entire retail industry. And once consumers voted with their dollars, they said that they wanted to experience this type of markdown and this type of lower prices, then businesses started to shift their focus to being more on these factory and outlet stores. To me, a good example of this is someone like Coach. They had a very strong, very powerful brand, but as soon as they started offering their products at 40% off, customers really flocked to them because they could get the Coach brand at a lower price. So then what Coach had to start doing was to engineer products to hit those cost targets in order for Coach to continue to make money, but then you started to get a lesser quality product, either slightly lower quality leathers, less quality hardware, and not as forward-thinking designs so that they could hit those targets, but then that's where you start to get into some brand dilution. The thing to remember here is that these companies are businesses and you should never bet against the house. At these factory stores, especially today, you're getting a lower quality product at a lower price. And so when you think of like the Brooks Brothers factory stores or the Nike outlet stores, the products were designed to hit a lower price. So you're not really getting a good deal. Although you are getting the brand name, you're not getting the same quality product that you would at one of their flagship stores. Think about like Nike factory stores, the dry fit material isn't going to be as nice as what you would get at a Dick's Sporting Goods or a full price channel. So the unforeseen side effect of these shoppers flocking to the outlet stores is that the brands are becoming diluted. Nordstrom Rack stores now outnumber the proper Nordstrom doors that were previously there, and this helps tremendously for growth. One of the big challenges that retailers need to do today is to show similar growth to companies like Amazon in order to be valued at certain levels, and so they're really latching on to the fact that customers want to shop at these new stores. You know, the underbelly of that is that you're starting to get customers that expect to have these lower prices, and then you have products that are value engineered to be lower quality, and so you're getting a complete dilution of the brand value and the quality that was associated with that brand, which built the brand originally. So with J.Crew, if you have a customer that wouldn't previously shop at J.Crew, but they will shop at the factory stores, and then they go and they get their new dress shirt for $30 or $40, but because the shirt isn't as high a quality, they're not going to be as attached to the brand because, you know, they got a great deal on it and they're excited about that and they feel good that they got a deal, but they're not going to have the same lasting quality product, which is what made J.Crew customers originally. So then the value perception of the brand drops in each consumer's mind that follows that pattern, and then the customer just moves on to the next store. They can offer a shirt at that price because they're a price shopper, they're not necessarily a brand shopper, which is what you get when you have that higher tier brand. And that comes down to the long-term bet that I would say in this space, and the crux of this video is that you do have brand dilution at the high end, but then you also see this huge influx of premium outlets and factory stores and investments in these channels, and not only are we, especially in the US, overstored as a retail space, but then there's also been this big boom or bubble in the factory and premium outlet stores. And so while right now we're in the heyday, this is really just the last attempt to really fight off the Amazon Death Star that's coming. So companies are able to show growth and they're investing in their stores and they're expanding their customer, but I don't really think it's a long-term sustainable strategy in order to retain customers and to grow the brand value overall. It really is just like this Hail Mary at the end of the game to try and say, look, we've got this great brand and we got all these customers coming in, and you know, we will see, but I think as companies start to shutter a lot of stores in order to try and become profitable and try and sustain the business, I think outlet stores are going to be a victim of those not far in the future. The good news in all these spaces is there are young brands popping up offering incredible products at pretty good prices, and so, you know, retail is fine, clothes are fine. It's just that you're going to start shifting to getting clothes from different brands, and you're going to have better quality product in the end, I believe. Hope you like this video. My day job is in the retail industry, so this is what I cover like every day, and so I'm just trying to take some of the high-level concepts that are really being talked about right now in the macro trends and then kind of present them to those that are interested in this stuff, because you know, it's something that I'm super interested in. And so love to hear you guys' thoughts on the retail industry, and I know you guys are worried about some of the stores closing. I don't think retail is going away. Check out some of my previous videos where I talk about how Nordstrom might go private, how Nordstrom's new concept signals the future of retail, and I think it's just an incredibly exciting time in the industry where really anything can happen, and a company can come out of nowhere to really dominate this space. So go ahead and comment below. You can also reach out at _Kavalier on Twitter and Instagram. Love to hear from you guys over there. Until next time, gents, this is the Kavalier.